You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm my friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an eye. Come on.
What is good, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be back, man. Mello, it feels like it's been a minute since we've been on a show together. I've been all over the place doing stuff, but back. Glad to be back at it, bro. How you doing today?
Man, I'm good. Absolutely, man. I've been running around, same thing. It feels like it's been a while. It's just been a week. I think, last week on Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, it's all good, man. You've been holding it down. I've been watching your shows. You've been doing an awesome job.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Well, tonight we have / had possibly the #1 defensive tackle in the 2027 class, Jalen Brewster, out of Texas, scheduled for an interview. He still might be hopping on here. Something came up, but we will see. I'm going to do something real fast, though, just in case you guys are unaware who this gentleman is. He is an elite defensive line prospect who visited the Buckeyes, and to my knowledge has some Buckeye ties. Some of his family's very close. And right after his visit, I got a text from somebody kind of in the know that we as Buckeye fans need to keep a close eye on this one. Now I know, trust me, I already know about us and the 5-star, especially defensive tackles now. Nobody's going to get their hopes up. That's fine. There's a long way to go, but you know what we hear. You know what we do here on the Buckeye Boys, man. Dive into these interviews so you guys get to know these recruits. But again, we'll see if he pops on. But this is one that you Buckeye fans, you're going to want to keep an eye on throughout the recruiting process. A long way to go. But as you can tell by his film, I mean, I don't think you could draw up a better defensive lineman in a lab. I mean, he is absolutely elite. So we'll see if he pops on here. If not, then we'll get him back on the schedule, get him back on here. Mello, what you got?
Man, I just like his get off on the right tackle on the last clip. He just strong-armed him and set him down real fast and real easy. Like, I like that he lines up in the backfield. Kind of reminds me of Deuce a little bit. He probably not as explosive as Deuce, but he's definitely bigger than Deuce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Dang, I did have his size pulled up, but I took it down.
He's 290 last I checked.
Yeah.
He's like 6'3", 290.
And like I said, hard to keep an eye. Just because you win the relationship side of the recruitment does not mean you win recruitments anymore. We just saw the second 5-star prospect commit to a school that they didn't even take an official visit to.
Yep.
Literally, they took one visit to the school, and Derek Cooper committed to Texas. Now, what does that tell you? He went to the highest bidder. Are we here to judge him for doing that? No, but that's still the truth. That's what it is. Now, Texas is a great place, I mean, for any college football player to go to, but, I mean, you don't even take an official visit there. You have chosen that school for one reason, which it's your decision. You're allowed to do that. So,
absolutely.
Anything to add to that mess?
I mean, absolutely. Then you add in you have to factor in Texas doesn't have state income tax as well. So, like, whatever he's getting offered, he's not paying state taxes on that either. So, I mean, this is more becoming a business than anything. And let's see if they're gonna reel it in. I know there was talk about Trump signing some kind of executive order to cap NIL. If he does, it's going to hurt schools like Texas and Oregon and Texas A&M. Probably not as much as Texas because they have other things to offer. in that state, in Austin, in that city. And I mean, it is a blue blood, but Oregon and A&M, they'll definitely be hurting if there's some kind of Texas Tech as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I've shared my opinion on that several times on here. There's a long way to go there, and we'll see what happens. But, you know, for the remainder of the show, we got some news today. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And then we're going to put the link in the chat if anybody else wants to come on here and talk to us about it. The news that we got today was about Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner. A letter got leaked that he wrote for the first COI hearing, I believe, for the NCAA. And what I read is somebody wrote an article about that letter. I haven't actually seen the letter, and it might be out there. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But somebody wrote an article about what is in that letter, and they said that it stated that Tony Petitti said nothing else should happen to them. They think that the punishment that they served, the Jim Harbaugh game suspension, that was not a suspension on Jim Harbaugh. The Big Ten letter made that clear. That was a suspension for the school of scum. So, right, Tony Petitti has went from being hated for doing that to Jim Harbaugh, and now he is scum's favorite person now. It just goes to show you how wishy-washy and goalpost moving that fan base is. Mello, I want you to get started because I'm going to do a little research here and look something up to pull up on the screen. But give me your thoughts, Mello. What's going through your head, man? Are you thinking, well, dang, maybe we're wrong. Maybe Scum is going to skate. Nothing's going to happen. You know, the Big Ten commissioner is backing up a Big Ten team. So it sounds like everything's going to be fine for them. So what's your thoughts?
So initially I was like, what? This is a little weird. But then I did a little bit of deep diving along with seeing some stuff that I'm sure you're going to show. But if you go back to when we had wins vacated and everything that happened with us, Jim Delaney was the Big Ten commissioner at the time. Jim Delaney went to the NCAA and asked them not to punish Ohio State, because they're trying to protect the brand. They're trying to protect the big. That's their job as a commissioner. And guess what? They slammed us, and we actually missed a natty chance because we had a postseason ban that season, the very next season where we went undefeated. So Urban Meyer's first year. So just because a commissioner asks for you to be lenient on a team doesn't mean anything, because that's his job. Literally, he's supposed to protect the brand overall. So him saying that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen with the NCAA at all.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He says, you know, they say that he says in the letter that he's going to advocate what he believes is best for one of the league's teams, right? And for me, the way I read this is, number one, you have the letter that came out from the Big Ten commissioner, which is, you know, extremely damning, right? And then you go to what you brought up here, man, is, hey, we've got some evidence showing here that, okay, just because a commissioner is backing up a team, does that mean everything's going to be fine? Well, here, shout out Justin Spear on his X. I mean, this was something we knew, but he put it in a way better format for us to just look at and talk about how the Big Ten commissioner urged for leniency for Ohio State. I mean, the SEC commissioner leaned for, you know, leniency for Tennessee. That did not work out for either team. The NCAA did not listen to those commissioners and what they were supposed to do at that point in time. But I'm sure, man, this fan base is going to twist that to make themselves feel as good as they can. This has not changed my stance at all. Matter of fact, this makes sense to me because the way I look at it, right, Tony Petitti has all these other teams pretty furious when they found out what was happening. So he had to oblige them and say, hey, look, man, 3-game suspension. There you go. Obliged. I did what I can do. Now it's on the NCAA, right? So Tony has to get back in his good graces and do his job. What's his job? To make the Big Ten the most money that they can possibly make. How does the Big Ten make the most money they can possibly make? If every team in the Big Ten is super successful, right? So obviously the person whose job is to make money for the Big Ten, right? If that's his job, he's not going to want them to be punished very harshly in that sense. But it's a double-edged sword here, because you go back, you read the letter that he sent out, and it's pretty, I mean, that's like the most damning piece of evidence that I've personally seen in this, is that letter. That kind of puts things very clear for you exactly how he felt at the time, right, about what was being said. So, of course, the timing of this letter is how long, and now all of a sudden they want to drop it. To me, you got Big Ten Media Days. That would be a reason for that. And number two, Scum knows, right? So who do you think leaked this? Where did this come from? Do you think
came up north?
Yeah, you think Tony leaked it? Well, no, because he refused, questioning about this, and just referred to his legal counsel on it and said nothing to say about this. So, I mean, the NCAA didn't leak it. They're not going to take that chance. This was Scum leaking it to try to get some good PR, probably on the eve or pretty close to the day that they're about to get slammed. Yep. They have to be able to have that fallback. You know what I mean? So, number one, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Has anybody seen this letter? Can we read the letter yet? Or are things being taken out of context? Let's remember the playoff, what was his name? The guys in charge of the playoff said that Scum won the games fair and square. Yeah. Now, did they take that quote out of context and use it to their advantage? Absolutely, bro. That's absolutely what they did, So they're going to keep doing it. Hasn't changed our stance. It hasn't changed anybody's stance that I'm connected to, and that's more than just Scoop. I've had some conversations with some coaches from some different teams that feel pretty high that this doesn't sway their opinion that Scum is about to have vacated wins, postseason ban, scholarship reductions, fines, and I believe, some show causes here or there, but all that stuff's happening. Because you look at those other two stories are brought up where the commissioners were supporting the team, they got slammed. One of those being us. We got slammed pretty hard, and the Big Ten didn't care, and the Big Ten is still alive. They still made money, and they were able – a lot of people are like, they can't punish Michigan because the Big Ten will lose $10 million, if they get a postseason ban. Well, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. So what are we talking about? They didn't make the playoffs. So, I'm going to put the
link in the chat.
Link in the chat. That's correct.
Yeah, guys, come on. Hop on the show. We'll talk about this or whatever else you want to talk about. But yeah, man.
Yeah. So, dude, I mean, this is just a repetitive cycle, right? Of, something that could possibly be taken out of context. But I do believe this letter says that. I do believe that Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, I try to think the other way, right? So if I was a fan of theirs, this would give me a little hope. I'll be like, heck yeah, right? But then I also might connect when people back it up with this research that Spiro and other people are doing, showing, hey, commissioners have supported teams before and it didn't help them at all.
Right.
I'm going to read that and I'm going to kind of see, oh, yeah, I can definitely see what this is kind of his job. He's supposed to back up the Big Ten. And this is the same guy that wrote that letter saying that there is irrefutable evidence that this is, a very big cheating scandal. Like, he wrote this letter. So if he wants to come out and say, hey, I think they've been punished enough, he's not punishing him. The NCAA is. And the evidence that we have is this is not going to help them, get by with everything. But we got our first person. I would have guessed that this would be the first person. Tyler.
Devin.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Ty?
Mello. I got to be honest. When I first saw this, I was like this. My eyes, I had to rub my eyes and make sure I was seeing this correctly. Make sure I wasn't like had to blink a couple times to make sure I actually read this correctly. So when it actually, I comprehended it, I was like this. What changed? What exactly changed, Tony? Like, you were the one that made this 13-page letter. Now you're saying let Michigan go? Like, am I did I lose something in translation? Like, weren't you one of the people that said that you wanted Michigan punished? But now you want them not to be punished.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not missing anything, Tyler. This is just the game that we play. There are politics in the game of college football as well. So Tony Petitti is in a political position. He has to kind of ride that line where he needs to please everybody. And in order to please everybody, this is what he has to do. He came out and pleased the rest of the country or / the other Big Ten members by punishing scum for what they did. And the facts are the same. Just because Tony Petitti is coming out and saying, hey, I don't think that man, that's just common practice. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do, right? Yep. His bosses could have told him, hey, I have to do that. And he's going in and writing a letter. He probably didn't write the letter. His secretary wrote it because that's what he has to do, right? So, this doesn't change the facts of the case. This doesn't get rid of the 6 level 1 violations and the 5 level 2 violations. It doesn't get rid of that. It doesn't get rid of all the indisputable video evidence. It doesn't get rid of all these players coming out talking about how they know scum cheated. It didn't get rid of that, right? So
correct.
I'm under the belief that the NCAA has already made their decision. Scum is well aware what's about to happen to him. The NCAA, it's already done. They've got it figured out. Just trying to figure out when to drop this news. That's what I've been being told anyway. So,
and what everyone has to also realize, this scandal didn't just affect the Big Ten. It affected the SEC and other programs. So behind the scenes, those schools and those commissioners are pushing for penalties as well. It's not that it just affected the Big Ten. It affected all of college football. So I expect harsh punishments. To me, nothing has changed. I think what Scoop has been dropping has been accurate this whole time in terms of this scandal. And I think it's going to be proven to be accurate again.
I'm glad you just mentioned that, because you know who I'm really glad about? Joe Milton. He threw them under the bus. And it was impromptu. He didn't have to do it, but Joe Milton said that South Carolina was I'm just going to leave it at that. He didn't have to do that, but I'm surprised no other Michigan players, ex-Michigan players, haven't said anything. I think that they're being forced to not say things just like because Michigan's telling them, hey, if you say something, well, you might suffer a punishment for, or we'll pay you some money to make sure you stay quiet. So I honestly think that's part of the reason why not a lot of former Michigan players haven't said anything, because I think that they're being told, hey, be quiet. We don't want all our everyone to know our everything has been being brought up.
Yeah, there's so many moves here that scum has to do on their side to try to protect themselves or try to make them look good. Just look at the lengths that their media is going to, right, to make people believe certain facts of the case, right, to save their PR, to save their appearance in the public, which that's already tarnished anyway to begin with. For the most part, it is. So, man, I could have predicted this. Like, this was, I could have wrote this on a timeline that right before the punishment, something's going to get leaked, making it look like it's not going to be a harsh punishment. Like, that just makes sense, man. Right. Look at the way this story has progressed. Look at it. Just think about it. There's Connor Stallions on the sideline. Video of Connor Stallions. First response, you guys are such clowns. That looks nothing like Connor Stallions. That is not Connor Stallions. Why are you guys such clowns? Comes out to be Connor Stallions. Well, he was doing work for CMU. He wasn't even, that wasn't something for Michigan. He was just there on his own power, had nothing to do with Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Then it went to, well, it wasn't that big of an advantage anyway, right? We may have done it, but it wasn't to the extent, and other teams are doing it anyway. So yes, we cheated, but other teams are doing it anyway. So you can't punish us that harshly, right? So, I mean, it makes perfect sense that something else is coming out from a guy, right? Who dropped this again? The guy that is a huge fan of Scum and, right, one of their tools in this game.
And you know
right,
what, Devin? I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly
Mello.
What's
hold
up?
on. Okay, you're frozen. Your face is frozen. Just want to make sure you're still here.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
So
okay, cool.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Dev, because that's also one of the first things that came to my mind when I heard this too. I was like, this is just, I guarantee you, Michigan was one of the people that pushed it out to make themselves look good. They've done this whole time. So this would be...
Not one of, Tyler. They are the people that push this story out there. 100%. They did this. Now, let me ask you guys this. If these punishments that were about to come were nothing, a nothing burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very minimal punishments. Why would Scum be leaking this story? Why would they have gone to the lengths to leak this story? If it's nothing, just let it ride out and be nothing. Why put any effort into trying to save face in the public? Why are you still leaking stuff like this, right? And why wait till now? You've had this for 30 some days, for however long it's been. You've had it. Why wait till now to make this happen? So
because media day is tomorrow. That's
because
they know
public image is going to be.
They're going to get slammed and harassed with questions about the scandal, about the sanctions that are brewing. How are they going to proceed? What is it going to do to their recruiting class? And they're trying to get ahead of it to at least buy them some time to get through media day and media week for their schedule allotted time. But I mean, it's not going to matter. The end result is still going to be the same. It's still going to be a problem for them, and they're going to have to deal with it. The hammer is inevitable. If you look at everything that's going around the country right now for teams that have cooperated and don't have the same amount of level 1 violations that Team Up North does, anybody in their right mind knows that they're going to get hammered. Everybody else is placating. A lot of these other podcasters are just placating to their fan base because they have a wider fan base than just Ohio State. So they don't want to piss off Team Up North fans because then it's going to hurt their views. And that's exactly what it is.
So I'm glad you also brought that up. Because what I also thought of too when I thought seen this today, I was thinking, why now? Why now? If Michigan is trying their best to cover up whatever, like trying to make themselves look as good as possible right now, why did you do it now when you could have done it 10 months ago, 20 months ago? It's why now? Why now? It's almost like you're pushing all your eggs in one basket, Michigan. You're putting all these eggs in this basket because this is the media. They're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions about what's going on in Ann Arbor. All the FBI investigations, all Matt Weiss, Connor Stallions, all that, they're going to ask you. And so you could have done this a whole long time ago, Michigan. You could have done this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's Tyler. It's the same game. It's the same pattern they've been doing. Right. Mello mentioned a very important aspect to this as well, and that's the recruiting side of things. Right. I'm sure that they have this letter framed and put up right in front of the doorway that all recruits walk into, and they can say, hey, look, right, even the Big Ten commissioner doesn't think we really did anything that wrong. So any, evidence that they can gather and blow it up. But Tyler, we appreciate you for joining us, man. You got any final comments before we let you go?
All I gotta say, Michigan, is get prepared. You got September 5th. Is that the 90 days? September 5th. That's ironically too. I was looking at the football schedule too. That's right before you play Oklahoma. Which is very interesting because wasn't Oklahoma one of the games that you wanted Sherrone Moore to coach?
Yep. That's his alma mater too.
So it would be so convenient if you were to miss that game, Sherrone Moore.
Yeah. Tyler, that's what they do, man. That's what it is. Hey, let's suspend our coach for the 3rd and 4th games of the season and pick and choose which ones we want to suspend them for, man. That's their motto. That's kind of what they've been doing, this whole time. Never fully admit guilt to anything that they did. But Tyler, we appreciate you for joining us, man. As always, have a blessed day, brother. OH.
IO.
Another thing I wanted to address real quick that he brought up in terms of former players are going to ride with their school, right? But also, if you think about it, if they came out and said we cheated, then what does that make them look like? It makes them look like they're only good because we cheated. And I'm about to bring something up that our dear friend Intrinsic posted on X a while ago. I want to share this screen and then talk about it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do your thing, man. Like I said, there's people in the chat, right, that don't really like what we're saying. I mean, we appreciate the click, the view, whatnot, but you guys making the news, man. This is like national news. I mean, here at the Buckeye Boys, we stream on Scoop too. Scoop's done an amazing job at covering this scandal. But it doesn't need to be talked about every single time something happens from the Buckeye Boys. We're focused on recruiting. We don't talk about this that much. That's not our niche. We're better at recruiting information. We have the sources there, not so much here as much as Scoop per se. So the fact that we're talking about this now, I mean, who isn't talking about this? You guys are talking about it. Your own fan base is talking about it. So, I mean, doesn't bug me.
Can you see this screen?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so basically our dear friend Intrinsic, who's doing the Lord's work over on X. If you're not following him, follow him. He's doing a great job. But as you can see, this far left column right here are a list of players that were part of the team in the cheating scandals, their positions right next to it, and what round they got drafted, and what pick, and what team. So JJ McCarthy, we can't really, it's kind of incomplete, so we can't say if he's a bust or not because he got injured, but he's projected to be a starter this year. Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle, round 2, pick number 49 for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's not starting, and for that high of a value and to be in the league this long, you could consider him a bust. He's not doing well. Mikey Sanistril, he was starting. I can't really consider him a bust. I'll disagree a little bit with Intrinsic on this one, but let's see if he could run it back and have another great season like he did last year.
Well, he put him not a bust.
Okay, yeah.
You see over there in the year one, it says Jenkins, those three, and then Barner, not a bust. But
okay, so Junior Colson, he's getting play time. He's not a bust. Blake Corum got drafted by, I believe, his coach's team. Bust. Roman Wilson, we all knew he was going to be a bust. He wanted to talk junk to Marvin Harrison Jr. when he was he was a nobody wide receiver in college and still doing the same thing for the Steelers. Zach Zinter, we all know how you Cleveland Brown fans feel about him. He's a bust. AJ Barner, tight end for the Seattle Seahawks. He's doing okay. Trevor Keegan, guard for the Philadelphia Eagles, considered a bust. So as you can see, all up and down here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's still, the verdict is still out on JJ McCarthy, on people that had an elite career. And this is a national winning team that did this, that these players played for, and they're not doing anything in the league. So obviously what changed? Maybe knowing the plays changed.
Yeah, 100%, Mello. I mean, if you have to ask yourself like why current past players aren't like talking about this more than they are, it benefited them, right? It
Right.
made them look extremely good and go really high in the draft pick. Some of them, as we saw, worked out. Some of them didn't work out. But just want to remind people real fast. We know the title says huge 5-star tackle Jalen Brewster. He wasn't able to make it today. We will be getting him back on here, and as soon as this live stream's over, we'll change the title so nobody gets confused anymore. But he will be back on here. That's going to be an amazing interview. So we're excited about that. But yeah, Mello. I mean, dude, you know, somebody put in the chat like, how can Connor Stallions come out and say, right, that he had everybody's signals and all this, Tennessee, South Carolina, and admit to these things in the NCAA and not take that into consideration, bro? All this stuff, right, that we see in the public, ask yourself, what percentage of proof do you think we know about compared to what the NCAA knows about, right? What things have not been leaked? What footage? What evidence? What computer program? What what person, players, coaches have went to the NCAA and gave them a statement concerning this? I promise you there's some. And I also promise you this, it only takes one, right? This isn't a court of law, all right? The NCAA doesn't have to go through a trial and all of that stuff, man. There's rules. You broke them, you get punished. So it is what it is. This has been a super entertaining thing to follow, and I still got a smile on my face. This was easily predictable that something, and let me tell you this, if the punishment doesn't come in the next 2 weeks, which personally I believe it's coming pretty quickly based off of them, dropping this stuff, but that's just my opinion. I think September 7th is the date that we're all really like looking at to see if something happens. But if it doesn't happen quickly, I promise you something else is going to get leaked. And even if it does happen quickly, it wouldn't surprise me if we woke up tomorrow morning and there was another piece of leaked information that made Scum look like nothing's going to happen or everything's going to be fine or whatever it is. Like, it would not surprise me at all.
Absolutely. And I mean, what more can we say about this? It's just crazy. It's nonsensical. And I can understand why Team Up North fans want to run with it. They're delusional and they're trying to cope. That's all there is. And then there's some Buckeye fans that just lost all complete trust in terms of the NCAA and what they will do. But there's example after example just this offseason that you could go and look to and know that they still have teeth and they're still biting.
Yeah. And just, if you're a Scum fan in the chat, the link is in the chat. If you want to come on here and have a conversation with us, we'll have a conversation with you. If you start flipping out, I'm just going to delete you off the screen. But we're more than happy to talk to you about your opinion and why you have that opinion.
Right.
So we'll see what it is. But, I think definitely before the season, something's going to come of this. My stance has not changed. It's in line with what Nevada over at Scoop thinks. Justin Spiro hasn't come out and said anything in specific, but he said, nothing would surprise him. Like there's things we can look at, these most recent NCAA decisions. Like there is 2 coaches' interviews that have recently got, punishments from the NCAA, and the coaches of that team come out and said, man, I feel like the NCAA was extremely aggressive in this punishment compared to what we did. One of those, they got vacated wins because they gave some tickets to recruits. Okay? Right?
Think about that.
And that punishment just came out. I don't even think that's illegal anymore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every recruit has like season passes tucked in their basket in the hotel room when they walk in there. So it's like, it's not even illegal anymore. And they're vacating wins and downright hammering teams for things that are nowhere close to this. And Scum just kept piling on top of everything. So the NCAA is having to sift through all of this stuff. But, I still have faith that they're going to get hammered. you know?
So I don't want to keep diving down this track only because I know it's going to be a big point of contention for Scoop tonight. So
Yeah.
let's bring up Mika.
Yeah, for sure.
Just in time, Mika.
Mika.
Hey, Mika.
Hey, what up, guys?
How you doing, Guru?
Doing okay. I've been battling a head cold, so if my voice sounds funny, that's why.
Okay. So what's up? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. Just getting so sick of waiting for the hammer to come down on these cheaters up north, man. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah. Hey, Mika, do you mind if we switch topics here and I ask you a different question? Because I've been wanting your opinion on this.
Okay.
All right. And if you still have something to say about Scum afterwards, please feel free. We're all about saying bad things about Scum on this channel. We love it. But anyway, Mika, I got to get your opinion, man. Ohio State recruiting right now, in particular, Larry Johnson. Tell me your opinion. Don't hold anything back. Let us know your thoughts on how Larry Johnson has been recruiting the defensive line.
None of this is Larry's fault. NIL, things are crazy, man. People are playing with Monopoly money.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
You can't blame Larry for that.
So why do you think they do?
What?
Why do you think people want to blame Larry, even though all this information is out there? Anybody could research and find it. They truly care. Why do you think people are still trying to kill Larry? Do you think it's just people need a target or someone to blame instead of just being honest with themselves and saying Ohio State is not going to pay kids out of high school to be the highest paid player in their position group room when they've never done anything on this level, and they want to use that money to retain players? For instance, what if we come up, I think we could still win the Natty, but what if we come up just barely short, right? And you know what's coming back next year. Julian Saint's second year, JJ's last year, Chris Henry's coming in, Caden Dixon-Wyatt, all this talent is coming in, right? And you decide, all right, we're going to drop a bag on Bo Atkinson and KJ and bring them back so we can run it back like what they did with Jack Sawyer and JT. So why would you give up that money for a freshman at a high school that's probably not going to contribute on the D line when you could possibly bring KJ back if he's not going to be a first-round draft pick, which frankly, he could be a first-round draft pick, and then is null and void this whole conversation. But let's say he isn't. Wouldn't you rather bring back KJ next year and give him the $1.5 million to come back than give some 17-year-old kid out of high school?
Oh, absolutely. You go for the proven commodity. It's just better business.
Right.
Yep.
Now,
100%.
I do think that we need a succession plan for Larry.
Yeah, definitely. And
But
I'll tell you this, Mika. There have been, obviously, you guys know we talk to recruits from time to time. The message, right, that LJ is telling these recruits isn't what we heard last year is, no, hey, I'm going to be here, right, for your career. He told Edric Houston that I'm going to be here, right, while you're here the entire time. The message I has changed a little bit this year in the sense of he's telling recruits, listen, even if I'm not considered the full-time defensive line coach, I will always be connected to this program. I will never leave. I'll be here in some type of capacity with my hand and thoughts in on this Ohio State football program. And
That's
I
what I'm
actually
saying.
believe that. So
That's what I'm saying. I have complete faith that we will have him involved in the program, and we will have a good plan for after he steps away.
To be honest, I think they already have a succession plan in place. We just don't know about it. They haven't told anyone. I think Ryan Day is that forthright in his thought process that he already knows who he wants to. He has an idea, probably about 3 to 5 candidates that he would consider to replace LJ. And I'm sure he's had some kind of like initial discussion with them to see what their interest level is already.
I got my own ideas.
Because, I mean, when have we ever seen Ryan Day get caught with his pants down besides the Kerry Combs hire?
Exactly.
yeah, you got to trust in the
complete faith in the culture of the program.
Amen, Mika. Amen.
Yep.
Well, hey, Mika, you got any final thoughts or anything else you want to add?
Just waiting on a hammer, man. I'm so sick of this shit.
Hey, aren't we all, girl?
That's the
Aren't
first time
we
I ever
all?
heard Mika talk like that. Shout
Hope
out
my
to Mika.
grandpa ain't listening. If you are, sorry, Grandpa.
I love it.
Love
Hey,
you.
Mika, thank you so much for joining us, girl. OH.
I am.
Later, Mika.
Very loved member of the chat, the Buckeye YouTube community, Mika Hannah. You want to talk about, if you want somebody to get in contact with to get some information on recruits, particularly Ohio recruits, and how they look, how their film looks, how they're progressing throughout their career, she's the girl to call.
Yep.
I promise you, right?
She's a guru.
Yeah, she really is very, very passionate about these recruits and the way that they develop, and definitely passionate about Ohio kids. But Mello, real fast, we got to get to this. We got to get off here. Nevada and B. Moses are going next, and they're going to dive into this thing way deeper and way better than we just did. I promise you that. So stick around. Nevada, B. Moses, they do a phenomenal job. Nevada's got some inside sources when it comes to this scandal. You're going to hear what he has to say. But first, let me pull this up, Mello, and share your thoughts on this real quick. Kaboom, baby.
Dang, boy. Man, my boy, the first thing that jumps off the screen is we have a true left tackle. Now you see why we've been so confident in this Texas matchup. We're at home. It's big noon. The shoe's going to be rocking. The biggest game probably all year and all of college football. And we actually have tackles this game when we're playing them. Last time we played them and beat them by double digits, we didn't have any tackles. We beat them with an offensive line full of guards. All our offensive linemen that played last year are going to play guard in the NFL. We have legit tackles this year, and that's what I'm most excited about. And I think as long as we don't have any more self-inflicted penalties like we did in that game, I think it's going to be double-digit win again.
Yeah, and I'm going to repeat myself, but real fast, shout out Will Starr. Will Starr has just been a phenomenal addition to this Buckeye. Yeah, the dude he's an amazing person to begin with. But please subscribe. Right, to both channels, Buckeye Scoop and the Buckeye Boys with a Z. That is me and Mello's channel over there. We do all kind of recruit interviews. And I'm going to tell you something. We got about 40 lined up for the 2027 class. So if you want to get recruiting information on particular recruits, specifically recruits that Ohio State is interested in, and you want to get it directly from the source, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the alert bell for the Buckeye Boys. We're going to have a lot of interviews pumping out here very shortly. But yeah, dudes of the week, Carnell Tate, Sonny Styles, Ethan Anianwa, Mello said it, left tackle, got nothing to worry about. You want to talk about a nasty football player? If I had one word to describe what I want in an offensive lineman, same with Mello. I know it because last year, me and Mello, one of the things we said we hope we see is a lot of penalties on the offensive line for something after the whistle was blown.
Yep.
Like that's literally what we wanted to see.
Yep.
Well, we got one now. Ethan Anianwa and, quite frankly, Phillip Daniels, both the additions at tackles in this class. They are aggressive and they are nasty football players. Sonny Styles, that's that future block O right there. That 6 is getting changed to the block O for sure. Look at him, dude. Look at his arms. Look,
He's a big dude. Imagine getting hit by him.
Yeah, you kidding me? Like, I'm telling you, the transformations, right, that has happened to very known players, Sonny Styles, Edric Houston, K-Mac, us Ohio State fans, we don't really have a glimpse at that yet. I've been privy to a pretty close-up glimpse of it, but I'm telling you, you guys are going to be surprised at some of the physical changes in this football team. They are focused, right? Carnell Tate, wide receiver, he knows what time it is. Emeka Buka just left, went to the first round. He knows exactly what time it is. I promise him and Brandon Ennis know what time it is. They know Mylan Graham's behind him. They know Quincy Porter. They know Jeremiah Smith, and they know what they need to do. And let me tell you, they are not messing around. Brandon Ennis is supposed to come on this show, but focused, zoned in on the season, right? Here's Jalen Brewster calling me to try to reschedule. So he will be back on
Press,
this show. I
you
promise
could
you that.
press mute if you want. I'll talk a little bit if you want to talk to him real quick. My thing with this team, and this is what we know as a fact. I mean, we get privy to a lot of information. Sometimes we share it. A lot of times we don't, depending on what it is. But what I will tell you is this defense is faster than last year's defense. They're nasty. They're dogs. So if you're worried about this defense, I mean, I wouldn't be, and especially because I don't think we're going to run the same exact defense that we did last year as well. There's going to be some tweaks in there, and Matt Patricia is just a genius. He's brilliant. Go study that man. He's going to put them in the best positions to be successful. He's going to hide the weaknesses of this team, and he's going to exploit all the great characteristics that they have and what they're good at, and they're going to exploit offenses and what they're good at, and to give this coaching staff this much time to game plan for that Texas team. I'll just tell you like this: if I'm Arch Manning, I'm not going to feel too comfortable, especially because I don't think he could take a hit. We watched Lathan Ransom knock him out the game immediately off of one hit, getting hit in the back. So I like our team. I like our chances. I think our offense is going to be nasty. Like Devin said, they are focused. Devin was just with these guys, a week or two ago down in South Florida for the OT playoffs down in Miami. Yeah. So he actually got to hang out with these guys. He talked to them directly. They are super focused and locked in. You already heard what JJ said. He said he can't wait for the season. People are doubting, and they have something to prove, and they're going to show you. So you give a team that has the highest blue chip ratio along with Bama this much motivation with a hungry young coaching staff, watch what's going to happen.
Yeah. I am so stoked that people are choosing the Buckeyes to end up second in the Big Ten, that Julian Tain's not on any top 10 quarterback list, that our offensive line didn't make very many top 10. I love it, bro, because let me tell you what that does. And I know this for a fact, FYI. These players see this. Yep. And if you think that like makes them mad and makes them want to give up, I got news for you, right? If you're one of those people that are making those lists, and in that list that you're making your hatred for Ohio State because the most popular team in the country makes sense that will also be the most hated team in the country. Makes perfect sense. And we are. So if your emotions are in that because you're fed up with the success that Ohio State has year after year, no matter what happens, no matter what coach leaves, no matter what, successful program in every avenue and an aspect of the game, life, and school. So, I mean, keep on doing it, man. I don't want us to be up there at all. I hope they come out with preseason rankings and they got us at number 8. That's what I want. I hope that happens because, hey, man, you come to Ohio State to be the best. To be the best, you got to beat the best. Well, we just beat the best. We're the reigning national champs, so they know they're the best, and they're going to come out and freaking do it. I'm telling you there. But, Mello,
and
we
exactly,
got to hop off here.
Yeah, one last thing. And Urban Meyer said it the best on Colin Cowherd's show. The wide JJ sees the best he gets his best competition at practice against the DBs because they're the best in America. BIA is not a slogan. We literally have the best DBs in America, and you guys are going to find out. So JJ's getting that work. The wide receivers are getting that work, and they're just sharpening each other. And you're going to see it August 30th. These boys are ready.
Yeah. I'm seeing some comments in the chat about how we can blame Larry Johnson for some of these recruits. Well, I'm going to go ahead and choose to believe the recruits when I speak to them directly on their thoughts about Larry Johnson off air. I might add. So I'm going to stick with that one. But we appreciate you guys watching the show, man. Scum's going down smoking. Don't be surprised something else gets leaked, right? And only a small portion of that context gets leaked. If you're going to leak a portion of the letter, drop the whole letter so we can read it and see what the entire thing says. But either way, Tony's doing his job, man. That's what he's supposed to do. But stay tuned. Nevada V. Moses is going to dive into it a little deeper. I'm sure I know they got a little more nuggets on this than we do. So stay tuned. For sure. Got to get Jalen rescheduled for this week. So stay tuned for that as well. He's excited to jump on here. I just talked to him on the phone. So he's excited to get back on here and get introduced to Buckeye Nation because he could be a future Buckeye. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Mello, anything else good to go?
Man, just sit back, relax, enjoy the show, get your popcorn out, enjoy what's coming Team Up Northway, and then enjoy the show that the Buckeyes going to put on in the shoe August 30th and the whole season. So have a good one. Thank you for joining us. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Bro, dude. Oh, dude, people in this chat. This is so, I love it, man. Do I always have to do the show, or can I sit and just watch the chat one day? Like on screen, I was watch the chat. It's hard to do that. But hey, guys, we appreciate you for watching for sure. Please hit that subscribe button on both channels. Hit that like button. Really helps us out. We're a fan channel. You want to come on here? Come on here. Damn, bro. Mello, I got to do a trivia question.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do it yesterday. Crap, man.
Sean, what are you talking about? What recruits do you know? We talk to all these recruits, trust me. Like, we really do. And they don't say anything that you're saying at all.
Yeah. All right. Bro.
Let me get the music ready.
This is out of line.
What happened? You got only ask one question because it's 8:06.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is an easy one. Get ready. Here we go. From which Ohio college did Ohio State hire Jim Tressel to replace John Cooper? I mean,
if you don't know this one, throw in your Ohio State fandom bat card.
Yeah. Throw it away.
Boom.
All right, who got it first? The Natural coming in with the win. All right, Natural, you're getting up there, man. Oh, crap. The Natural just took the lead.
Oh, really? Over?
Yeah.
Who did he take the lead from?
Steely.
Steely, man, you better get back on it. That was an easy layup for you, Steely.
Look. He back, baby. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
I-O.